Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Smokin Nicole.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTabacco.com. I am joined once again by my beautiful fiance, Smokin Nicole. And tonight we want to welcome on our very special guest. It is our friend Ben from Luxury Cigar Club. Ben, what's up, brother?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we're really excited. So we were supposed to do this sooner, and we were supposed to do it with Booth, and we were supposed to do it for some other stuff, but that didn't really pan out. So I was like, you know what? You should still come on because I want you on the show either way. So we're gonna have to make some changes, but you're still here, and we're happy that we finally made it work. So welcome to the show.
Awesome.
We can kind
I
of do
think
some
you had
different stuff.
what was it? You had some car trouble or something you were driving from the show in Vegas, and that's why
No,
we had the
No,
delay.
it was when we I think it was because we got snowed in. So there was a snowstorm and we couldn't come back right away. And I think that we were supposed to
That
be
was
coming back like before. We had it for like that Monday after TPE. We were still in Vegas. So I was like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it. But it's okay. We're here now, and I think also we were supposed to be talking about. Actually, Nicole's smoking it. We'll get to that in a minute. We're going to talk about Johnny Tobacco now, but I think at that point, too, I don't know, I think they had already sold out or something. So we didn't end up even doing a promotion on that. But it's okay. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Let me start off since you're the guest. What are you smoking tonight?
Tonight I picked up Byron Habaneros, 2013 vintage.
Ooh.
One of my all-time favorites, and is perfect for indoor smoking. Eh, I find that the smoke does not stick to garments as much. With basically Atabase and Byron, since they've been aged for so long, and I don't know, just very very mild
You know,
effect on the room. My wife doesn't even know.
it's interesting you say that because I had someone once upon a time tell me, like, oh, did you smoke an Atabey or a Byron tonight? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, like the smell is not as heavy. It's like it doesn't cling as much. And I was like, really? But you're right. It's such a clean cigar. That yeah, even the smoke is just. I don't think it's as thick and heavy. It's like even the smoke is lighter. So, I'm right there with you. I'm smoking a Gran Poema, a 2015 vintage. And these are fantastic. These have just been sitting in the humidor, and I love them. It's probably my favorite from Byron. And I have half a box left, and I just kind of forgot about them as things do. And then I saw it tonight, and I was like, I just gotta smoke these fucking things because if I don't, they're gonna age out.
It's
So
just
I'm
gonna
like,
age and get better.
so I'm like, I just gotta smoke them. I gotta enjoy them. You know, they've been in there for a while
I
as it is.
I love them. Actually, maybe even more than them. I love the petite poemas. I always keep a jar at home, and when it gets low, I get nervous. I have to call Oliver to make sure they have more to keep me stocked because they're like a concentrated version of the poemas.
Oh yeah, and the Apic Poema I like as well. Cause I'm a bigger size guy, so the Grand Poema, the Apic Poema, the Poema is good, and you're right. It definitely packs a punch for what it is. But the Poema line is probably my favorite. And then I would say I've been getting really into the Distinguidos. That's also another one that's a huge favorite of mine right now.
Absolutely.
I love that cigar.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a delicious cigar. Fantastic. Nicole, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking the Johnny Tobacco Knot.
Yeah.
This is my first one,
See,
actually.
I was contemplating doing that because then I remember we were planning last time we wanted to have Matt with us and discuss the Johnny Tobacco Knot. Yeah, actually here I have one that was ready to
Boom.
enjoy with you guys. But they are in fact sold out. We can still talk about it. Phenomenal cigar, and working with Boofy obviously is a delight, and unfortunately, we just didn't make enough. Next year, we'll know better.
So
Next
you're
time.
gonna re-release it again next year.
Well, if we do something like this,
Yeah.
no guarantees.
All right.
He changes his mind all the time.
I'll have to text Mr. You know
All the
what?
time.
It's out of all the releases he's done, it is definitely one of my favorites. I really that and this year's Namakubi was really good, but that is out of everything, that's probably one of my favorites, if not the favorite.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, it's a great cigar.
It's a fun cigar, top to bottom, from branding through the packaging, through the vitola, and of course the smoking experience is very unique, and it's just a delicious cigar.
Yeah, the what's the other one that he's got that it's a regular one. The Oscuro, the Doomsayer Oscuro. That cigar is probably my favorite of his regular production stuff that he has. Just fantastic. Definitely a go-to for me. They're not really. I don't want to say they're hard to find, but like one of the things I notice about Room 101 is that like people who carry it, they like someone will carry like A, D, and F, and then you go to another retailer and they got like B, C, and J, and then you go to another retailer and they got like M, L, and Q, and it's like no one carries like all of the same shit. So it's like you always have to go like all over the place to find like all the different pieces to it. But whatever, it's such is life, I guess.
Hey, that makes it fun.
Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does.
Scavenger hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's about the hunt.
it's a scavenger hunt just for cigars. It's fun. No, but
We're hunters, right?
that's right. Well, I mean, you got the unicorn shirt on. I mean, it's all about hunting the unicorns. You got a bunch of unicorns behind you. For those who are not watching and listening, Ben's sitting in front of a fabulous whiskey display with all of the favorites. There's, the Van Winkles are up there. There's some Stags up there. There's Blantons up there. There's a Michter's 10 up there. So, yeah, I mean,
You have a good eye.
he's got the Blood Oath line right there over his shoulder. Yeah, he's got some nice stuff up there.
Wait, Ben. So if you could choose one from behind you, which one would it be?
If I could choose one for what? Just
if you
pour?
could only have one. Yeah.
If I could only have
Like
one.
Yeah.
like Desert Island,
Yeah.
you get stuck with a case, and that's all you're gonna have for like the rest of your life.
It's a great question. So if I don't have to pay for them,
No. No. Yeah. Take that out. You don't
Yeah,
have to
take it
pay.
out. Yeah, just have it. Doesn't matter how
Yeah.
you have it.
And you can have a whole case.
I would say a whole case. I would probably enjoy the George T. And
That's only 3 bottles in a case, though. It's a small case.
that is true. How long am I stuck on the island?
I don't know.
But in reality, my daily is like it's an Eagle Rare. It's what I enjoy just to pour myself,
That's a good one.
and it's relatively cheap when you can find it. It's very cheap when you can find it at the store. We actually have them in Arizona, scattered out in supermarkets once in a while. You can just go and buy a case here and a case there. And am I giving up all my secrets right now?
We actually have Eagle Rare almost everywhere here in
Yeah.
Massachusetts, but it's weird with that stuff because like you go almost anywhere in Massachusetts and you'll always find Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace. Pretty regularly, you'll find bottles of Blanton's. If you really want it, you can get it if you're a little patient. But then like Weller is you got to go looking for it. But then I hear if you go to Ohio, you walk into any liquor store and there's Special Reserve and 107 just everywhere. And
I'm gonna look for tickets to Ohio when we're done here.
yeah, and I've seen photos of it. I've heard it from multiple people. They're like, yeah, Ohio gets like all the Weller, and then I've heard people say like down in Virginia, like there's Blantons on every shelf all the time, and I'm like, so it's weird how it works.
Hold on though. What about like New Hampshire when they do have Weller? You can walk in and buy a case. So
New Hampshire's a control state, so they, it's different for them because the state's like one liquor store, so they get a whole shit ton of
I
it,
know,
and they
but they
spread
were
it
selling
around.
it when that person had gone and bought a case of it. It was like $25 a bottle.
Oh
It
yeah,
was cheap.
it was around the holidays. So
Yeah.
around
Of
the
what?
holidays, special reserve.
Yeah.
They had cases of it out on the floor, and someone I know went and just bought a whole case, and walked right out for like $25 a
Good for
bottle.
him.
And I was like,
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, all right. And he called me. He's like, dude, they still got like 7 cases, and I was like, I'm good. And then looking back, I'm like, I feel like an idiot.
Because now you can't
I
get it.
should just went and bought the damn fucking case. $25 a bottle? Why not? I'm gonna drink it. Why not? Yeah, but no,
Eventually, yeah.
it is funny because you know the bourbon game has definitely changed, and we've seen it in the cigar business too. There's a lot more limiteds out right now, and you know, Luxury Cigar Club, which we're gonna talk about. You know, that's your company, and you know, you guys have definitely done a lot of special
It is.
releases. You know, in your history and your time, but the industry in general, seeing a lot more limiteds, and it's a topic that we've talked about a lot on this show and the Spare Note show. There's a lot of limiteds out in the market, but before we really get into that, let's kind of backtrack a little bit. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So you founded Luxury Cigar Club. Tell us a little bit more about that. How did that come to be? You know, were you in the industry before, or was this something that was totally new? And you guys said, "Hey, we're gonna get into the game. We're gonna start Luxury Cigar Club, or whatever your original plan was," and just kind of tell
So
us how
we
that
started,
started.
no problem. So we started by having a small retail store up in Cottonwood, Arizona, which is I don't want to say it's an asshole town, but it's really small in the mountains, away from everything, about 2 hours from the Phoenix Metro, and we had a lot of fun with that, and it did really well, and we wanted to grow it somehow, and I don't remember exactly who or if it was. I think Chris Doyle, my partner, came up with an idea to do a subscription box, and we were unaware if anybody else was doing it or what, but we wanted to do something that we would want to receive as customers, and we were also the first customers to our own. Actually, I'm still subscribed. I get the package every month, and so we sat and, you know, came up with names, came up with concepts, scoured the internet to see we couldn't find anything that was doing anything similar. Of course, there were other of the month, because that's not a new concept and didn't start with us, or not even in the past 10 years. I think all the bigger retailers would do a little, you know, what they have left over, or just run of the mill stuff. It's what we're showcasing, and it seemed like it was kind of a race to the bottom with what was there. You know, these guys are selling 5 cigars for 40. These guys are doing 6 cigars for 35. These are doing 10 for 20. It was, we're like, this is not what it's not what we want to do. We wanted to do something that's exciting. When you get it, is exciting, has great cigars, not just good cigars, has exciting cigars. We'll tell you the story about them, and well, basically just, you know, having a Christmas once a month with opening a box that's a complete surprise. And we set forth to do so, and I think we did a pretty good job.
You've definitely done a good job, and you know, one of the things I just wanted to add was that I mean, I've talked to a few people who are in your subscription service, and they've said to me, like, you know, hey, you know, Luxury Cigar Club has been really good for us. They've really helped people discover our brand. They do a really good job. They do a great job of how they do it and everything, and they're really professional, and they got our stuff in their subscriptions, and people are finding it, and now, you know, they're getting it in their Luxury Cigar Club order, you know, during the month, and they're like, wow, and now they're going and they're buying boxes of it, or they're buying, you know, 5-packs or whatever. So it's great, and I don't think I played around with some of the subscription-based services, and then I kind of realized, well, I'm like, it's just really not for me because of just kind of the way I smoke and what I do. So I kind of bowed out of it, but I don't think I actually had tried Luxury Cigar Club, but it's something that I've known about for a while, and I've watched everything you guys do, so I am very familiar with it. Even though I've never subscribed to it, I'm very familiar with it, and I've always liked the way that you guys do it, and I like the way the presentation is. I've seen the photos of like the cigars that come in it, and there's the informative card with kind of like what's in there and a little bit about those cigars. It's a great presentation too. It's so well done. It's so polished. It's so nice. What do you think really sets you apart? Because there's a lot of other. I mean, there's Pravada. There's My Monthly Cigars. There's Smoke Inn does them. Cigar Authority does it. There's a lot of like mail order, subscription based, sampler sets. There's similar to what you do. But what do you think really just sets you apart that kind of makes you, better than everyone else? If someone was looking to subscribe to someone, what would you tell them really sets you apart from everyone else?
It's a great question. And I mean, yeah, now there are a ton of services that do basically, similar, provide a similar service. But what I always say is like anybody can take cigars and just, sling cigars and put them in a box and ship them. That's not, what we're about. What we are more about is about two things. One is the experience from start to bottom, from when you order the box and how you are accepted into the club, so to speak, in our social club on Discord and other venues that we have where you meet the other members, the way the customer support greets you, stuff like that, through the experience of receiving the box with, in reality, no corners cut. We do everything. We go balls out. When we started this, like I started saying before, and we looked at the other companies, we're like, okay, so these guys are doing it for 40, these guys are doing it for 30, these guys are doing it for 10. How can we beat them? And we're like, we can't, but we're going to build a box that has exactly what we want to receive and to give. And whatever it costs, that's what we're going to charge. And it doesn't matter. And it came up to a wonky number. I think it was $51.95. Probably if we did it today, it would come up to like $63.80 or something like that. But we haven't changed the price since we started. And we're like, this is going to have to work. And so we're not trying to beat a number that somebody else is bringing up. We are just trying to provide the best experience. And that means, anything that happens, if somebody sends us a message, hey, one of the cigars was whatever, don't even complete the sentence. I'm going to send you a replacement. I want you to enjoy it. It's not about the cigar. It's about the experience with us and, the community that we're in.
Right.
Half of what we do is about showcasing the brands that we work with. So we find a great cigar. It's not known. People don't, of course, our hardcore members that are into cigars, people in our community that very well, they are just, they know everything. Sometimes before us even, they will know every boutique that came out, every little thing, all the trivia. But we want to make sure that we get it to thousands of people to try. And by doing that, giving the small dogs, sometimes the small dogs that have a great product, a chance, because it's such a crowded industry. It's not the same as it was 3, or definitely not the same as it was 10 years ago, where if you came up with a new brand, you had a chance to, make enough noise to be heard. There's a lot of competition today, and we feel like we have a chance. People send us samples every day to try to put it in the box, to see if we like him and to be featured in the box. And we smoke a lot of cigars, and we find some gems that are not, they're not mainstream. So our value is, again, the experience and the service that we provide, and also just the scouring through so many cigars to find the next great cigar.
A lot of people, say, like what we do with media is, we help bring light to a lot of brands, and, by posting about them, talking about them, writing reviews, writing news about them, and getting the word out that way, which is true, and that helps. But I almost feel like what you're doing, and like you just said, you find a lot of brands that are kind of hidden gems, and then, okay, we like this, let's throw it in the subscription next month, right? And then it goes out to everyone that subscribes. One could argue you're just as much as a proponent
More.
Yeah, because you're actually getting the cigar to people. I can write a story all day long
I think
and be
so.
like, hey, this new cigar is fantastic, and I liked it because it tastes like this and this. You should totally try it. Someone will read that and be like, wow, that's cool. Yeah, maybe next time I'm in the store, I'll ask for it. And then they forget about it. When they subscribe to you, they're getting something either way. So you're like, hey, try this. There it is. Oh, all right. Let's
You
cut it
already
and
have
light
the
it.
cigar? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a huge tool. And I think you're right. I think your biggest value is, actually taking brands that people haven't heard of and you just get them right to the customer, whether they know it or not. Like, hey, here's 5 cigars, and then there's a few you have heard of, and then there's one that, hey, what the hell is this? And they cut it and they like it, and
And
they're
I'll
like,
tell you,
ooh, this is great.
or maybe they don't like it. It's not. We make sure that we bring cigars that we love, and that means first of all, high quality. Now, high quality is hard to argue. It's either high quality or it's low quality. Doesn't matter. Then when you go into flavor profiles, it changes according to your palate, according to your daily palate. I don't know what you ate before. Did you eat jalapenos, or did you have chocolate mousse? Maybe it won't fit what you like right now. So some people won't love everything we put out, but it's still a learning experience. You're like, you know what? I'm so glad I smoked this cigar. I don't like it. Next time I see it, I'm not gonna smoke it. You can't like every. If you like everything, you like nothing.
Right.
Or there's a saying like that: you love nothing, or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's just a journey.
You can't be afraid to say, hey, I don't like something. And I think another thing that's worth mentioning, too, is just because you don't like something doesn't mean that it's bad. And this is a stigma that even, like, the media has had to, like, explain. Like, if we do a review on a cigar, or we have a cigar and we're on the show where we're talking, like, hey, I just really didn't like it. That doesn't mean, hey, that cigar sucked. It was, well, I didn't like it, but it was a good cigar that I know other people would enjoy because I don't like this flavor component, or I don't like the way I don't like spice, or I don't like a lot of pepper. This one had like pepper all the way through. I like pepper in the beginning and then like just a little bit and then I'm done. But this one was like, and you're right. And everyone's different. Everyone has a different palate. This is such a great way for people to try different stuff, and it saves them from buying like a small handful of them or buying a whole box and then be like, I didn't like it. They can get something in and be like, oh, that was good, or oh, you know what, I didn't really like that, so I won't buy this in the future. Kind of saves them from going out of their way. One of the things I noticed on your website is that you actually give, so you, in addition to the subscription service, you do have retail. People can go and buy boxes and cigars, whatever,
Right.
like anyone else. One thing I did notice, though, is you give all of your subscriber members who belong to Luxury Cigar Club 20% off everything in the store, which is very interesting.
It is very interesting, and I guess the secret's out. No, we've been doing that since day one. We want, again, our members, our subscribers are our family. They're the core of our company, and as such, there's a saying: membership has its privileges, and in our case, we make sure that it's very pronounced. So one of the benefits that our members have is indeed 20% off, and that is 20% off everything. So it doesn't matter if it's a lighter, if it's an Opus X, if it's anything in our store. There is no what do you call it? No restrictions. The
No
only
restriction, no limit.
restriction is, of course, no limit. No restriction. It just, some companies will say, oh, you get 20% off, but it excludes rare cigars, or it excludes this and that. So our discount is not per item. Our discount is a membership discount. So it's anything at the store that we have for sale.
Now, you have multiple levels. So there's the core subscription, the platinum subscription, the palladium subscription, the sapphire subscription, and the diamond subscription. Now, I know that some of those, there's a waiting list to get into them, so because you only have so many.
Right.
How many of those memberships do you actually have granted right now for some of those other ones?
What do you mean?
How
How many?
exclusive? How many people are actually part of like the diamond subscription right now, for example?
Oh, we don't discuss numbers, just mostly
Oh,
because they're
okay.
not really important. But we have this way. Sorry. The Daily Ash is a diamond member, and our diamond membership waiting list became so long, we had to actually close it because first, nobody's leaving it. It is very exclusive. So the cigars we put in there are really, really hard for us to source. So it is very exclusive. So we can't open new spots and nobody's leaving. So we ended up having, it doesn't specific numbers, like I said, don't really matter, but 4 digits of people in a waiting list were like, this, I can't even take more. It's not fair. No, people that
Right.
were taken will never be there. In reality, in honesty, I can, in good conscience, tell you, okay, just sit here and wait. And, then when you're 98, I'll give you a call. Okay, your spot's open. So what we did was open like, I'll say interim subscription tier, which is the Sapphire, which is, so the Diamond is $150 a month, and the Sapphire is 70.
Okay.
And but it gives us a little more room to put stuff that is more exclusive, that is more expensive, that is maybe harder to get, but also it is very exclusive. So it, as far as membership space, it is very limited. So there is usually a waiting list, but it's not as long. So people that sign up, if you guys sign up today for the waiting list, in reality, I think maybe next month or maybe the month afterwards. And we try to open more spots with that as we can. And so that's very reasonable. Sometimes it's even just open. So if you're interested, go and check.
Now, do you have to
Our
already be a member of Luxury Cigar Club to go on the waiting list, or can a new subscriber go right on the waiting list?
No, anybody can join. It's not like, oh, this is an add-on or something like that.
Okay.
Like I said, the Diamond is closed. At first, it was anyone. Afterwards, we're like, okay, only if you're a current subscriber, because it just wasn't fair to just have people join from outside. And then it was just, that's it, we're done. With the Sapphire, you can just email us or call us, and whoever answers will put you on the list and let you know when the spot opens up.
It's really cool. I mean, I'm on the website now. I'm like looking at it too, just so I can have it all nice and fresh. And looking at some of the cigars that you have, and even the Sapphire membership. I mean, there's some nice stuff in there. It's really cool. And I feel like it's exciting too. It finally comes and you get it. You're like, oh, what'd they send this month? You open it up and there's definitely some cigars in there that even for me, I'd be like, oh, damn, this is awesome. Like I'd get all excited, just unboxing that. It's really cool.
That's how I feel too, even though I know what's in there.
Right?
I
As you
open it
should.
up and I'm
As
like,
you should.
okay,
It's that
great.
special. Even when it's your own thing and you're like, wow, you know what, you feel really, proud of it. You're like, wow, this is going to be awesome. And, you're confident in that, which is great. Now, one of the other things is, like I mentioned before, so you guys have done a lot of like exclusives and some like, some small batch stuff with different manufacturers. I know, like Nicole's Smoking the Joint Tobacco Knot. That's a Room 101 product, but you've done
Yeah.
that with a couple other brands too. What do you have coming up this year that's really interesting that you can talk about? Some exciting projects that are and releases that might be coming out that people can be looking for.
So one thing, what can I talk about and what can I not? I'm hoping Chris doesn't watch it because he'll probably disown me tomorrow. So one thing that's coming soon, I'm sure I can talk about that, is the 8-span Raven. It's a project we've been working on for a long time. It rolled at the Ventura factory in the DR, and the cigars have been ready for forever. And we actually even thought for a while, most people know there was not a shortage, but a real bottleneck with cigar bands and cigar boxes. Really hard to get in a
Yep.
timely manner, and we were caught in that with this project to some degree. And we were thinking maybe we just bring them out and plain packs, not plain packs, but just like wax paper and stickers and stuff like that. It's a beautiful cigar. And but then we decided, no, we're gonna wait. We don't want to cut corners. If it takes longer, it takes longer. In the meanwhile, the cigars were resting in the humidors for an extra almost year.
Wow.
And finally, we have production of the of the boxes. So we are expecting them very soon. You can see them on our website. If you're there on the top right, there's it says 8-Span Raven. You
Yep, I'm
probably
looking
have,
at it right now.
yeah,
Fantastic. Beautiful box, too. Purple and black. 10 count box. And I believe these are, so this is a 6x54 and a total of 7,500 cigars being released.
yeah.
And what will that
This
retail for?
this run. You know what? I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's not gonna be extremely expensive. I don't want
Nice.
to throw a number and then people will hold me to it.
Oh, yeah, no,
Eh,
absolutely.
so yeah, so these are coming out. The boxes came out phenomenal, looking really good. The bands as well. We worked really hard for that. And it says 7,500, a release of 7,500, but we were talking about the small batch release and the limited edition release and all that. And that's exactly what we're not doing. We're trying really hard not to do that. Everything that we make, all our branded cigars are intended for continuous production. So from the first cigar that we had made in collaboration with Artesano del Tabaco, that was the Viva la Vida Lancero. I hope you guys smoked it. If not, let me know and I can send you a couple to enjoy because they're phenomenal.
I don't think I've had the Lancero,
And
but I've had some of the other
Yeah,
sizes, and they were pretty good.
yeah, just not the Lancero.
so the Lancero is where it's at.
Nice.
And that's our exclusive cigar with them. So you can't get it anywhere else. But I'll make sure I send you a couple. And it's continued, so we sold out really quickly and then we asked for more production. Everything became, production got really backed up. And so some things took longer than others and then they came out and we sold out again. So we bring those out all the time. And every cigar that you see that has either our secondary band or just our cigars, it will be reproduced. So we don't want you to be like, oh my God, do you remember that cigar? Do you remember Choshi or do you remember this or that from 5 years ago? Yeah, I remember it. And I can also go and buy it at the store when it comes out next month.
Wow.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm on the
You're
website.
getting like sucked in.
Well, I mean,
It's
yeah, I mean
okay.
that's part of it. I gotta make sure everything gets covered here. I mean, I'm trying to do Ben a service here. I want to make sure people know about Luxury Cigar Club because, like I said, even though I never subscribed, I've always been very impressed by it. I mean, we've bought things through the store, just never had the subscription. But like I said, I've always been really impressed by it. And I've never heard anything bad about it. I've always heard great things from all sorts of different people, from manufacturers, like I said, who've worked with you, to people who subscribe to it. They've always said wonderful things. Chris from the Daily Ashes in the comments, he is lighting us up right now, just fangirling over how awesome it is. Like we said, he's a Diamond Club member,
Mhm.
and he's over here just talking about how great it is. Customer service is top notch. I think he said he's been a Diamond Club member since day one. Yeah,
That could be.
yeah, Luxury
You want me
Cigar
to
Club
check?
Diamond member from the beginning. Awesome club. Yeah, I mean he's awesome too. Chris, thanks for watching with us. Yeah,
Thanks
no.
for
So
being a Diamond member, man. You're lucky.
Was Diamond Club from the beginning? I'm sorry, I think I missed that or I forgot that.
So
When did?
so we started. You finish your question.
No, I was just gonna say. So how long has the Diamond Club been around? Was that since the beginning of Luxury Cigar Club, or was that after?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like
No.
literally from
So
the
so we
beginning.
started from the beginning. We started with three tiers. I come from the jewelry world in my previous life, so
Me
we
too.
thought it would be fitting to do. You do? You do? We'll
I
talk
did.
about it later.
Yeah.
And so we started with the gold, platinum, and diamond. So we wanted to have three tiers that would be very specific, that will provide an answer to different things. One, we wanted to provide a slightly more economical option, which was the gold. The gold was basically three sticks out of the five in platinum. It went into the gold. It was slightly cheaper, and the platinum, of course, was our original baby and still is. And the diamond was the higher end or the high end. basically the highest end in the industry at that time. I think still till today. I think we're the gold standard or
Oh boy.
the diamond standard.
I believe Shadow One is with us tonight. Question for Ben. Please talk about how great Matt Booth and Room 101 cigars are. Shadow One, we've already
I
done
can
that.
see, yeah, Shadow just joined us and did not see all the great talkings about
Shadow, you're late, all
Matt.
right? You're late to the show, and I'm very disappointed because you should know better, all right? We already did the Room 101 ass kissing for tonight. Real question is, why weren't you here from the beginning? That is all we need. That is all we need, and now it'll all keep going. I just got to stir the pot a little bit. Also, where's
But
Matt? Why is
Booth
Matt not here?
and Room 101 are great, very great.
Very great.
Okay,
I
now
insert
we-
myself when I see fit. Yeah, see? Okay, here we go. This is how it starts. This is how we get in trouble. And this is not the first time that this has happened on this show. A lot of speculation. Do you know who Shadow One is?
I prefer not to answer that question.
Ooh.
Oh, Ben knows something. Uh-oh. Ben knows something. Oh, thank you, friend. Nice words. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Ben knows something.
But
I'm
it's a
gonna
really
remember that.
really nice person.
Oh yeah, I mean, as I would suspect. Everyone over at Room 101 is fantastic. See, now here we are again. We're now with the continuing of the enlightenment of Room 101. Shadow One.
I was
shows
expecting
up and takes over
a
the show.
comment about this from Shadow. But
I know. See, I
Maybe
mean, I
later.
know. Ben, you got to point it out. So Ben, real quick, I just wanted to take a second, and I wanted to ask Nicole. So Nicole, you weren't here with us last week. Last week, for those of you who missed the show, we had Mike G from Mike G Sticks. It was a great show, awesome interview. Check it out. Everywhere our podcast is available and on our YouTube channel. We had a really fun time with Mike talking about Hollywood and all of his experience acting and being on movie sets and TV sets and stuff like that. Even about how, I don't even know if you saw last week's show, Nicole, but Mike told us all about how when he was on a set one time and he went to take a piss, and he realized about halfway through he was peeing into a fake toilet. It was a prop. It was on the set, and he thought it was a real bathroom. That was pretty funny. But you weren't here. You actually.
That's on them.
That's on them. Yeah. I mean, you got to.
I'd be like, that's on you guys. You got to put it where I don't use it.
There should have been a sign like, "Hey, this is not a functioning."
Or a sticker
Somebody
something.
should have thought,
blocked off.
I'm not gonna store the fake toilet in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good idea. I'm gonna put it somewhere else.
Yeah. So, but you were in England,
I was in England, yes.
and you were there for a couple of days. How was it?
It was good.
Good
It
trip.
was good.
Have a lot of fun.
I'm tired. It was a short trip. I was in England for 4 days, so.
Yeah. And that's
quick.
it's a what, a 5-hour
That is
difference
short.
for us, and it's what, a 7-hour flight to back and forth. So yeah, you're definitely run down, and I think you're still jet lagged. You haven't really had any time to recuperate from that. You kind of went right back into work. So.
Nope.
But we missed you. You weren't here last week.
I know.
You brought back some goodies.
That's all you care about. The goodies.
Well, not necessarily, but you did. She brought back some Havana Club. I mean, I got excited.
Yeah.
And some Cadbury. If you've never had Ben, have you ever had the real, like, British-made dairy milk Cadbury chocolate?
Absolutely. I used to travel a lot through London. That's all I would bring. Because
Oh.
growing up, the candy of flights or of international trips was Toblerone for us.
Toblerone's good.
I don't know if
I've had
but
that.
it's
It's
whenever
good.
anybody flew, they would come out with one of those, come back with the big ones, with the
Big.
big triangles, not the small ones.
Yeah.
But when I started flying through London, that's Cadbury. That's the thing for sure.
For me, it's the twirl. The twirls are the best because it's like the flake, which is great. But if you've never had it, flake is a very how would
Flaky chocolate.
Yeah, it's what it's flaky. It's a stick. It's a bar, and it literally looks like it was made by just kind of drizzling the chocolate back and forth. So when you eat it, it just kind of breaks apart, and it's very light, and it's very fluffy, and it's crumbly.
You have to eat it cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, it'll just fall apart on you.
If it's warm, it's just
Yeah.
the experience is not there.
Yeah. So you got to eat it cold. But if you don't like that mess, you can get a twirl, which is essentially a flake, but with a solid coating over it, so it kind of holds it all together. I like the twirls. The twirls are awesome. But from time to time, yeah, I'll just go with the classic flake. They're great. Same chocolate and everything, just kind of a different design, but they're fun. I believe, isn't it like the McDonald's over there? Like like the sundae, they actually put a flake.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
They also do like Cadbury McFlurries.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
they do
damn.
like
McDonald's is even better
It's
in
like
England. It's not even their thing.
it's like a local variety of sweets.
I know.
they do other stuff.
I will say, like, we're trying to be more healthy. And we're trying to eat better too. We got kind of sucked back into sweets for a little while, but I will say, when I am dieting and I do need something sweet, I do really well with a little bit of chocolate, because I find that, especially with like Cadbury or any kind of European chocolate, it's really rich and like creamy and filling. A little bit goes a long way because it's so rich. It satisfies me quicker than like eating like a bunch of cookies or something like that. So I will say that the secret to my cheat treats is chocolate when I'm dieting, because a little bit goes such a long way. So that's definitely helping me out right now. Why don't we hit our news
Yeah, with
really
all the
quick? Why don't we hit our news really quick, because we actually have a pretty, Ben, I'm sure you heard about this. There's a pretty big bombshell in the news today in the cigar industry. We'll talk about that a little bit. Our news segment brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. If you head over to McAuliffeCigars.com, you can send it to me an official ambassador. You get your official ambassador coin and number. While you're at it, head over to Facebook and sign up and join the ambassador group and hang out and smoke with all of your fellow ambassadors. It's a great time. For those who haven't heard, if you're unaware, we are always talking FDA and all that fun stuff, right? Legislative stuff. It's always scary. It's always grim. Well, today, once again, it's legislative time. Although this time it's not going to be as, oh, yeah, maybe. Now it's actually, things are happening. The shots have been fired. There is now time for concern. And I say this because you should really pay attention, because even though you might hear this and say, well, that doesn't pertain to me, it does. And I'm going to tell you why. Today, the FDA has announced that they do plan, and this is a little bit of a process, but they have formally announced that they will plan on moving forward with banning all flavored cigarettes and cigars at the federal level across the board. Now, already the Premium Cigar Association, the Cigar Rights of America, have issued responses to that announcement from the FDA, as well as Drew Estate has also announced a reply on that, obviously being who they are, and they carry a lot of products like that, from what I understand, their response to it was, right now it's business as usual. All of our products are still available, X, Y, and Z. But this is definitely something that people should be aware of, because you know what? At the end of the day, even if you're not a flavored cigar smoker, and you say, well, but I don't smoke flavored
They're
cigars.
coming for us.
It's another spoke in the wheel. They come and they go, well, we're going to take away the flavored cigars. You can't have those anymore. Well, what's next? Well, we're going to take away all the cigars. You can't have those anymore. And then all of this goes away. So, yeah, you even if you don't smoke flavored cigars, you should be aware of this, and you should be doing whatever you can to speak up and get involved as a cigar smoker in any way that you can, because like Ben just said, they're coming for us. It's one way or another. The end goal is, we just want to take all the tobacco away, all gone, complete. It doesn't matter. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a premium cigar. I don't care if it's menthol, Marlboros. I don't care if it's backwoods or black and milds.
No definition. No
They're taking it all.
distinction between. So I'll say something. I mean, you mentioned very briefly the PCA, which we've been working with for a good amount of time now, exactly on these issues. So first thing, everybody that's in the industry or even enjoys this beautiful hobby should be grateful that the PCA exists. And the PCA is sort of like, if you don't know what it is, it's sort of like the NRA of tobacco. So they fight the good fight for us, and the court battles and the legislative issues, they do that And what we did, actually, we did a project with them just now, and releasing a cigar called El Politico, and which every cigar sold, which we actually just gave out in our great cigar, by the way, made by Picardo, and we just ended up putting it in the club. And for every cigar that we purchased, a portion of it goes as a donation. And what the reason we did that was to raise awareness to them. So it's like, okay, listen, this is what this organization does, and this is a way to support it. Because most people won't just go and be like, hey, here's $50, you know, and there's no real membership like the NRA sells, oh, sign up to be a member with the NRA, you get a free duffel bag and whatever, and it's $50, and that's what, brings in the funds to keep it going, right? Because
Right.
it takes money to fight these issues. So we're also trying to find a way to get more involvement from the end consumer, and also from brand owners and from stores to create awareness and to get donations to this organization, and to prevent this little, what I call the salami method, right? First, oh, it's just menthol cigars, right? How many menthol cigars are there? Who smokes them? It's gas station stuff. We don't care, right? So we're like, forget this. This is not my fight. And then they're like, you know what? If you smoke like a little cigarillo that looks too much like a cigarette, and you're like, that's true. I don't smoke them. I smoke whatever Gordos, and that's my thing. So I don't care. And then they're like, it's like you said, they keep slicing it and slicing and slicing until this will be like embargo times, or not embargo times. What do you call it?
Prohibition.
Exactly, and we don't want to get there. So no regulation is the best regulation. Once they start, it doesn't stop.
I mean, it's kind of like the old saying: "You give them an inch, they take a mile." You give in on little things and be like, yeah, okay, whatever, let them have it, I don't care. And they're like, oh, okay, well, let's keep going. What else can we take?
Yeah,
That's really the
let's see.
mentality. You
You
know?
push where there's mush,
That's
and
right.
then
So I mean,
exactly.
again, and Ben said it really well and brought up a little good points. But once again, if you haven't heard about this, there will be more information going up on the Smokin Tabacco website pertaining to this issue. I haven't gotten to it quite yet. It literally just dropped today, but we'll get that information up there so you guys can educate yourselves. Also, this weekend, the return of the Spare Note series with William Cooper. So Coop and I will be live once again Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. This will definitely be. I mean, there was already a list of things that we wanted to get to, but now this has been moved right up to the front. So this will be the forefront. We'll really dive into this issue, get into the specifics, get into what's being done in response to it. The quick rundown of it is, so there's also a comment period where they have to open up to hear from other people in response to this, and then after that finishes, which that can take some time as well, it goes into the final ruling phase before it actually goes in. So realistically, I mean, you're looking at, if this actually goes all the way through and it goes into law, I mean, we're talking, I think, as early as like 2024 that this could actually really be set in stone. So, and I know it's a few years away, they'll stop it. That's not what that means. It means, you know, it's already bad. I mean, the fact
It's in motion.
it's in motion. I mean, the train has left the station. So, yeah, I mean, I think that there's the possibility that certain things might become exempt. I mean, I don't think that's completely out of the realm, but it's not looking good. So again, get with your local cigar associations, get with CRA, PCA, sign up to their newsletters so you get this information. Like what Ben's doing with Luxury Cigar Club, by putting donations to PCA. I mean, that's huge. I mean, and like you said, some people not just going to go out and throw money at them, but they buy cigars that support that. That's huge. They need all the money they can get, because there's a lot of fight that they have, and it's not easy to fund it, and get that strength. So it's It's just dark times ahead, and I always hate being so grim about it, but it's the reality.
And I bet that cigar is actually really good. I love everything Luciano puts out. So
Oh yeah.
It is very good.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
He's done so well. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
His cigars are always good.
Top notch.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. Moving
Yeah,
on
he
from
definitely
that.
proved it last year with hit after hit after hit. Everything he came out with was a home run.
I think the first thing we had was the Fiat Lux.
Yep.
And that was like,
The Fiat Lux was
wow.
raved about everywhere.
Yeah.
And another one we put out in the club as well was the Sergeant. I don't know if you smoked that one.
Mhm.
I didn't. I think you did.
I did.
Okay.
Yep. They were all good.
And
The quality
absolutely, they're
it's top notch. Just
second to nothing.
yeah.
And I think now the newest one is it the Dreamer?
The Dreamer, it's not so new, but
It's been
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
but it's also.
But
So he has a lot of great things, and he's definitely a rising star.
oh yeah.
We'll hear a lot about him.
And he's a great guy too. I've talked to a few people who've had nothing but great stories about Luciano as well. There's someone I can't remember the whole story. And I can't remember who told me, but someone told me something about they needed some cigars from him. I think it was a retailer. It was someone who was working with him, and they needed something, and they were gonna have him ship it or whatever. He was like, no, he just got in his car and drove it right to their house and was like, oh, here you go, everything you need. And just like, really, you didn't have to? Oh no, it's all good. And he just really cares. And I've heard a lot of stories like that about Luciano. He's a great guy. Nicole actually.
I can tell you stories too.
Oh yeah,
Phenomenal
and I'm
guy.
sure you could. Yeah.
You know, when he didn't even know me, we went to Nicaragua. He heard that we were there. He reached out and invited us to his house and had us there. You know, we created a really quick friendship. He's such a genuine person. You talk to him 5 minutes, you get that vibe from him. There's no disputing it. You know, and I told him I'm coming again. He's like, you have to come stay with me. He won't let me stay anywhere. You know what I mean? And it's just the type of person that he is, he does everything with his heart, and it shows in his cigars as well.
And I don't think it's the same house now, but for a while he had rented in Nicaragua the house from a family, and the daughters of that family worked for me in Boston, and I like didn't even know,
Yeah.
like, you know, because they're so tight knit. But it's funny because we had a little connection there.
Yeah, and you know
that.
that's the thing about the cigar industry and these people is that it is so small and it is so tight knit, and that's what makes it special too. And that's why we always say regardless of whatever we should always stick together because it is a small community, no matter how big
It's a
it
family.
might seem. It's a family. It really is. And yeah, sometimes the family, they don't get along
They
sometimes.
squabble.
But the bigger picture is their
I don't
family and they
notice
stick
that
together.
stuff. I don't notice it.
Always try to be above it. Try to rise above it. We are getting towards the end of the show. Before we go, we have our top 3.
All right.
This is if Shadow One is still watching. This is your time to shine with the comments again. It is the Room 101 Cigars top 3 segment. It's watch the Smokin Tabacco show. Eat your vegetables, take your vitamins. Smoke Room 101. And Matt came up with that. I can't take credit for that. He actually came up with that at TP.
Sounds like something we'd come up with.
Yeah. And we've been using it ever since. Top 3. So, interesting. Ben is an interesting character for this one. I had a hard time coming up with something for this.
What I don't even know what this is.
So it's 3 things usually. It's like 3 things that if you had to go live 3 places, if you could whatever. It's like 3 things.
Okay.
It's personal, whatever you want to do. Let's see. I know you're a bourbon guy, and we already asked you about kind of like what would your one be?
Well, he said he travels.
He travels. So for you, and I know you've traveled a lot. 3 places in the world you've never traveled to, but you've always wanted to.
Ooh, that's
If
a
you could
good
go
one.
tomorrow,
So,
all expenses paid, you're going.
okay. So, Monaco to watch the F1,
Ooh, that's
which we might
interesting.
be doing.
Hmm.
Japan, just in general. I don't even know where or what exactly
Just want some fresh sushi.
I would do there. Just fresh sushi. I don't know. It just such an interest. I've been to I mean, I've been to Thailand, which is very different than that, but Japan has such a interesting vibe to me. Like, makes me really curious to visit. And and third, where would I go that I've never been? I don't know. Um, Maybe Bermuda. Sounds like the perfect vacation place.
Really? Never been to Bermuda. That's a good
Really,
one.
really.
It's quiet. I've been there once. I was there. Oh fuck. I think I was like 10. It was a long time
So you
ago.
got the full experience.
Yeah, I totally did. Um, no, I mean any kind of tropical vacation is always nice. It's warm. It's
Typically relaxing.
typically relaxing. It should be
Right.
relaxing. As long as you don't go when there's like a hurricane or something coming through, then it's like you're like holding on for your dear life.
Not really relaxing.
But
Yeah.
also Bermuda's known for the golf. I don't know if you golf, but if you golf, I know Bermuda's a place that people like to golf too. Um,
I don't, even though I should, because Arizona is really a golfing destination as well. I'll
mm,
pick it up sometime soon.
I play a little, and every year the spring comes around, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like definitely like this is the year I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna play a lot more. And then it's like August, and I'm like, oh, I haven't played all year. I gotta get out there. And then it's like October, and I'm like, well, I guess that season didn't happen. So, but I should. It is fun. I love playing golf too. It's a great time. Like there's nothing bad about it. It's just it's finding the time to go. It is definitely time consuming.
You have to take a day, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
for me, I can work from there, right? All I have to do is smoke cigars. I don't even have to play golf. I can just follow that golf cart wherever it goes and
Just sit
smoke.
on the golf cart and drink and smoke all day. You could be the caddy.
Yeah, yeah, why not? I'll do that. I mean, I went, the shooting range, whatever, had some fun a few times, but never like a real game.
It is a great time. It is relaxing. For me, it's always fun. Every time I've gone for like a work, golf outing, it's always been great. There's been a few times I've gone just to. I was like, I need to
We've
go
worked
and
golf outings.
we've worked golf outings for La Flor Dominicana. Most recently, the 2021 Cigar Association of New Hampshire golf event. We worked the LFD booth. Carney, Carney was
Good
supposed
traveling.
Carney was supposed to be there, and
You
it
just
went it
dumped
went
it on you.
it went from well
Yes.
yeah, but so it went from like, hey, like we're gonna have a great time, I'm gonna be there, to like a few days before, it's like, so I'm actually doing an event in New York, but it should be okay, because it's not that far away, it's a quick flight, whatever. He's like, I might be like an hour late. I'm like, all right, no worries. And so we get there and we set up and it gets going. I'm like, well, he'll be here in a little bit, so it's not that bad. And so I'm like, hey, where are you at? And he's like, oh, like I'm just getting on the plane now, and it was like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I think he got annoyed because I kept asking, because I didn't understand, because I was like, I thought he was gonna be here. So I'm like, well, where are you? Like, when are you gonna be? And he's like, what's going on? Is everything okay? Why? I'm like, well, I thought you were gonna be here. And he was like, yeah, I know, but like it's fine. I'm traveling. I'm on my way. And I'm like, all right. And before I know it, it's noontime. And he's like, hey, I just landed. I still gotta go get my rental car. And by the time he showed up, there was like 45 minutes left. And I was like, dude, the whole thing's over. And he was like, yeah, I know. Sorry.
But I'm here.
And
fine.
so he was like, oh, thanks for showing up today. I'm like, it's no problem.
We were honorary LFD employees for the day.
We were. I wasn't mad about it. I was just kind of like, well, I wanted to hang all day. Like, now it's over. So, like, now it's just, like, it's not fun.
Mm,
But whatever. It's all good. I think he thought I was mad at him. But, I was just disappointed because I just wanted to hang. But, like, whatever. It's all good. I'll see you later. And then that was
He's a good guy.
He is. We love him to death. He would have been here tonight. He's been back on the show more lately. But he is away.
But he's traveling. I
he's away
see
on a
him
fishing trip.
around the world. It's like, yeah, where in the world is Carmen Carney?
I know, right?
Where is he today?
He's on a fishing trip, but I don't remember where exactly he is. I don't know if he's local or if he traveled for it, but I know he's on like a fishing trip. He's also a dad now too, so he travels and he's a dad. So when he's home, it's last week he was gonna come on with us, and then he's like, I got stuck with baby duty, so I can't come on. And I was like, it's fine, but he's definitely a busy guy. We love him to death. He always has a spot here on the show, and hopefully he'll be back next week. I think we have is next week Jay. I think Jay Davis comes on with us next week. I think it is. I think Jay Davis from Blue Smoke of Dallas, also board member of the PCA, will be with us next week.
Yep.
So don't forget to check out that show. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about with him.
And after that, Lito Gomez is on talking about LFD.
Lito Gomez the following week will be on from La Flor Dominicana. The man, the myth, the legend. And Carney won't be on that show. I already asked him about it, and he will. He's going to be traveling, doing something else. So Lito Gomez will be on the show, and Carney actually won't be, which is weird. A very strange turn of events. But Lito will be here, so that's all that really needs to. That's all the only thing that matters. So just tune in for Lito. Don't worry about John. It's probably best that John's not there, because then his boss won't see how he really is on these shows. Because I bet you Lito hasn't seen
how
the
he
show.
acts.
He won't have to witness John, do the soap review on the show and be like, John, is this what you do? Like when you go on these shows, you wash your hands on the show. I'm kidding, of course. But that is what is coming up. Also, once again, a reminder, our Cigar Family Charitable Foundation fundraiser is still live and kicking. We are, I think we're got $5,200 raised right now.
Yep.
And we are about 11 days out. So May 10th, 7 p.m., we will go live and announce the winners of the raffle. There's amazing prizes that we're giving away from Fuente, Drew Estate, Tatuaje, Room 101, JC Newman, McAuliffe. La Flor Dominicana has some crazy prizes. One of them is a blend your own cigar experience, where you will work with La Flor Dominicana to blend your own cigar. They're going to roll 8 of them, put them in a special box made just for you, and send them to you. It's a whole experience that's going to partake.
There's also a 24 karat gold wrapped cigar from Daniel Marshall.
Yes,
in the whole set.
The Daniel Marshall 38
The Golden
set.
Torpedo.
Yep. That was given
That was
to us.
actually in one of our diamond boxes, by the way.
Wow.
We sent those out.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, that was given to us courtesy of Jay Davis, Blue Smoke of Dallas.
And then we also have a ton of Rare Fuente, of course.
Yeah, there's 5 PJs
Yep.
with Opus carbon fiber cigar sleeves.
Yep.
There's 5 of those that we're giving away. There's 10 Arturo Fuente / Opus X samplers that will be given away.
With Rare Pinks.
With Rare
and
Pinks. I think
trying
there's
to
some
think
Rare
what else.
Blacks. There's
Yep.
a bunch of the different Lanceros in there. There's
Yep.
some Eye of the Sharks in there. There's a 5-pack of the Opus X Oro Oscuro XXX Bellicoso, donated by me from my collection. That's up for grabs. There's probably a couple more things I might add from my personal collection between now and then.
I don't think we ever put our samplers up on there.
Uh,
So yes, there will be more packs.
There will
There's
be
my
more
sampler
packs.
from my humidor and your sampler from your humidor.
And I might add a couple more things too. So stay tuned for that. There's definitely going to be a couple more things added as we wind down. We are under the 2-week mark. This is usually when it starts to really kick up. A lot of prizes get added. So really keep an eye on that. If you want to go and buy your raffle tickets or donate, you can head to SmokinTabacco.com. The link is all over the website. It's not too hard to find. It's right on the homepage. It's the top banner. Just click that. It'll take you right to the Rally Up page, which is where the raffle is being hosted. So don't forget to check that out. And then, as I said before, May 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll go live, and all the winners are going to be announced live on the show. There's going to be probably a couple of guest appearances from different people, and I'm going to be pretty mum on that till it happens, because I like to surprise people. But there probably will be at least one member of the Fuente family on that show, so don't forget to check that out, as well as so many other people from the industry that we're just kind of finalizing right now, and I won't announce that till we go live. So keep an eye out for that. It's really exciting, and just no matter what happens and no matter how much we raise, we thank everyone very much for the donations of money, for the prizes that were donated from our donors. We really appreciate all of it. It all goes to such a great cause, and it helps these kids down in the Dominican just have such a better life. So we really appreciate it. The Fuente and Newman families really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. So thank you so much. Ben, thank you again for coming on the show tonight. It was awesome.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad we got to talk about Luxury Cigar Club. It's definitely something that it's been on my list for a while. Really couldn't be any more impressed by what you guys have done. And I know you still have a long way to go, and there's probably a lot more that you guys are going to do, and it'll be exciting to see you guys continue on that journey. So good luck with everything that you have going on, and thanks for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me again. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on here sometime soon. And we get to discuss some new exciting stuff as well.
Absolutely, buddy. Always welcome to come back. Guys, don't forget to head over to smokintabacco.com for more news information, for our raffle information. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And as always, everywhere podcasts can be found. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye, everyone.